athletes. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's do this. We are talking about 2.4. Today's learning target is I will learn and apply properties of rectangles. Boom. Go ahead, work on the warm-up. Boy, you have a minute. This is a little rectangle or parallelogram right there. Ready, set, go. All right, I am assuming you paused it. With that said, let's take a look. So it says JK. Well, I know JK is the same as, I don't know, let's say LK, or I'm sorry, L what? JK, M. I can't see what that letter was. JK. I'm going to have to look at another paper. I didn't draw over. Oh, it's I. I'm getting all stuck on this. Li, so because of that, we know it equals Li, which equals 15. Oh, measure of angle J, okay. Well, I know that, here's an I need to write that in right there. I is congruent to angle K. Those are the same. So measure of angle K over here is going to be, that is so small, 71 degrees. And I know that consecutive angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. So to find the measure of angle J, I'm just going to do 180 minus 71, which is 109 degrees. Which is, by the way, going to be congruent with the measure of angle L. It's also 109 degrees, right? Because it equals the measure of angle J. And then KL is the same as JI. Therefore, it equals 21. Boom, that's your warm-up. Good things about parallelograms. Okay, we've got a bit to write down, so let me go ahead and slip over to that screen. First is your vocabulary, rectangle. And again, I'm not going to spend long on these screens. I'm assuming you're going to pause it, and I'm going to move on. A parallelogram is simply a parallel, or a rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Moving on to the next. So what does that mean? What are properties of rectangles? So under properties of rectangles, make sure you write this down. Excuse me. All 4 angles are right angles. We see that. Opposite sides are parallel and congruent. Well, that makes sense because they're a parallelogram. Consecutive opposite angles are congruent. Again, same deal. And if they're all right angles, they're all congruent. Consecutive angles are supplementary. That's true, even though they're the same. 90 and 90 still makes 180. The difference is diagonals bisect each other, which that's true. One other thing that's super important. Diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. They're the same. That leads us to theorem 7.13, which says if a parallelogram is a rectangle, the diagonals are congruent. In other words, Km is equal to JL. Those are congruent. They're the same length. They don't just cut each other in half. They're the same exact length of line. Okay? Awesome. Let's do this. Let's go into the next one. Are you ready? Go back to, I'm just going to get that loading up. We're going to go back to the screen because there's a few things we can now do on here knowing this information. So let's label what we got right here. Brighten that up a little bit. If ST is 21 inches, so ST, boom, right here, 21. And PQ is 40. What a terrible angle, what a terrible measure, right? So this is 40. And 29/32 inches. And the measure of angle PTQ is 113 degrees. So this angle right here, excuse me, not that angle, PTQ. So this angle right here is 113 degrees. Find each measure, TQ. We want to know TQ? Well, TQ matches ST, which is 21. PR. We want to know what PR is. Well, PR is the same as SQ. And since this is 21 and this is 21, the whole thing is 42, so PR is 42. We want to know the measure of angle PTQ. What? PTQ. I think it meant to say STR. That's kind of funny. But either way, this would be 113 degrees. Doesn't matter how you slice it. And these are supplementary because they're linear pairs, which would make these sides, 67 degrees. So we'll just look at all the different angles we could find. 67 degrees, and boom. Does it say PTQ? PTQ. That's weird. I think that's probably a typo, but there we go. It's 113 degrees, no matter how you slice it. Awesome. That's it for this problem. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, quad MNOP is a rectangle. Well, if it's a rectangle, we know a lot of things about it. If MO equals 2x, so we got MO, that's this whole slice right here is 2x plus 6. And we know that NP, that whole thing, is 6x minus 15. Find NP. We want to find that length. What do I know about these two lengths? They're equal, so I can set them equal. So 6x minus 15 equals 2x plus 6. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, which means I'm also going to add 15 to both sides. 6x minus 2x is 4x. Boom, equals, boom, 21. So, divide by 4, we get that x equals, 4 goes into 21, 5.25 times. Now, if I want to know the length of that, I'm going to plug this in. So I'm going to have NP equals 6 times 5.25 minus 15. Well, let's see. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 quarters makes $1.50, so that's going to be 31.5 minus 15, or 16.5. Makes me laugh because I realized I was supposed to really answer this in this box right here. So we know that NP equals 16.5. There we go. If the measure of angle NOP, so let's see, NOP, so this angle right here, equals 2y minus 3, and the measure of angle MOP, so this angle right here, so we've got the right angle right here, because we know it's a right angle, is 2y minus 3, and we've got this partial angle right here is y plus 12. Find the measure of angle NOM. See, NOM, so we want to find this angle measure right there, okay? All right, well, I know that if I take, how do I want to go about this? I think, honestly, the easiest way, guys, there's so many ways I can go about this. I could say, all right, 2y minus 3 minus y plus 12 is equal to whatever that is. But really, I think the easiest thing to say is, I know that NOP is equal to NOP is 90 degrees because this is a rectangle. So if I know that 2y minus 3 equals 90 degrees, right? Let's solve for y. Plus 3, boom, I get 2y equals 93. Divide both sides by 2, and I get that y equals 45, or 46.5 degrees. Okay, so now let's plug that in to MOP. So then the measure of angle MOP is equal to 46.5 plus 12, right? And 46.5 plus 12 is going to be 58.5 degrees. That means to find the measure of angle NOM is just going to be 90 minus 58.5. See, to do that, I'm going to need to borrow. 9 becomes 8, 10. Got to borrow from that. Make that a because it's 0.0 right here, by the way. Make that a 9, make that a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Well, a decimal point, 9 minus 8 is 1. And 8 minus 5 is 3. So that's 31.5 degrees. That is the answer. The measure of angle NOM equals 31.5 degrees. Awesome. That said, we have just one thing left to do today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final theorem. We're not going to do anything with it right now, but it's good to know. It's kind of the backwards part of this. It says, this is theorem 7.14, if a diagonal of a parallelogram are congruent, then the parallelogram is a rectangle. So if these are congruent, right, if xz equals wy, then this parallelogram is a rectangle. Boom. Awesome. Well, with that said, we are done, and peace out.